Anytime Sha'Carri Richardson hits the track, it is a big story. She did it again at the USA Championships, running the semifinal round for the 200. And considering the final round is going to come soon, probably by the time this video gets out, the final might already be over. But with that in mind, Sha'Carri Richardson will not be in that final. And that is what I'm here to talk about. Because when she pulled up to run this semifinal round, she ended up where the gun goes off and she runs through the turn. I was watching it live and everything looked pretty good, except for the fact that she's in the same heat with Mackenzie Long. And considering Mackenzie Long was the world leader in the 200 just like within the last 3 to 4 weeks, and she was at the Olympic Games just last year in 2024 and made the final. That's not all that surprising. I was like, you got to mail that in. She's going to get one of these qualifying spots. But only 2 people get guaranteed to go on to the final. And Sha'Carri Richardson wanted to be one of those people, but it didn't happen. She ended up fading all the way back to 4th. But, again, that's a little bit misleading, because you got to see the full context. Desirez Stevens held on for 2nd place and got that automatic qualifying spot. Whether or not you realize it, she was at the Olympic Games all the way back in 2016. That means she did it in the pre-Sha'Carri Richardson era. And then the 3rd spot went to Madison White. She ran 22.55 seconds and currently is still a runner for USC at the college level. When you factor in that Sha'Carri Richardson faded to 4th in 22.56 seconds. And then she finished as the first woman out of the final. Madison White got that last spot. That 100th of a second is why Sha'Carri Richardson is not in the final race. But that is the beginning of the story. But there's a whole lot more going on, because Sha'Carri Richardson has not run a whole lot this year. Whenever she does touch the track, people care. But like I said, this year she's been dealing with injuries. It's been pretty abundantly clear, anybody who's been paying attention. Every race that she has run, she hasn't really looked like herself. The first time that she actually did, when I say actually did, I mean moderately. Some version of Sha'Carri Richardson, in all of her talent, was actually on the track, was at the USA Championships. Because in her preliminary heat for the 100, where she didn't run the semis and she didn't run the final because she didn't need to. She already had the bye to the Worlds. The plan was for her to run the 100, have that first heat go pretty well, and then get ready for the 2. That's exactly what she did. And even though she didn't win her 100 heat, she did enough to let me know that the injuries she's been dealing with are moving in the right direction. And her times on the clock are moving in the right direction. But while Sha'Carri has been figuring things out throughout the 2025 season, the world around her has been changing. And that's where I'm going to focus on. Now, I'm going to get out in front of this part, because the biggest story from the USA Championships, or at least from this weekend, has been Sha'Carri Richardson being arrested. I haven't shared much of any thoughts on it, and I'm not planning on spending much time there, but since I'm aware that if you are a casual track fan or somebody who's all the way on the fringes of the sport, again, the people who don't really pay attention all that much, that's probably the only thing you really heard about the USAs. When I was scrolling on my ESPN feed, on my cell phone, on the app, that's the only thing about the USAs that they ever mentioned. Again, maybe they talked about some of the other races, the actual performances. I just didn't see it show up in my headlines. But Sha'Carri Richardson's arrest actually did. The situation itself, just to gloss over, to me it didn't look all that serious. What matters is that in an airport between her and Christian Coleman, something happened that shouldn't have. Some form of a dispute. And whatever shouldn't have happened, it got the attention of authorities, and it ended, the end result was some form of an arrest. I'm not here to get, into the details. A bunch of people are talking about it in a whole bunch of different ways. Ultimately, it's disappointing, but it's something that she, Christian Coleman, and everybody can move on from. So that's what I'm going to choose to do. Because at the end of the day, we pay attention to Sha'Carri because of what she does on the track. That is the things that she has done that got our attention. She's been able to hold it because of who she is. Her personality, her identity, the way that she displays herself. She is box office when she's in top form, because you get the performance and you get the energy that comes with it. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, and if you really want to know what's going on with the fastest athletes in the world, then you are in the right place. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section. because I try to read them all. 2025 has been a down season. But she's still the reigning world champion coming out of 2023 and the Olympic silver medalist in the 100. And like I said, the world around has been changing. So I'm going to put this on the board in two different directions. Because when we talk about, where she is and can she, get it right at Worlds and so on, like, let's be real about what we're discussing. As far as the 200, like the race where she didn't qualify through, she actually needed to make the final and go top 3 if she wanted to repeat at the Worlds in the 200. Because she was there in 2023, made the final, and got a bronze medal in that event. That actually happened. Sha'Carri Richardson's talent shows up in the 200 because of her speed. When she's in top flight, if she can hold probably between 75 and 150, normally, very few people in the world can actually keep up with her. It does, again, because of the injuries and everything, I think training and kind of where she is, like that's why she didn't necessarily hold on the way that she could have. I mean, specifically in this, semifinal heat. But I look back at the history. Like, how has she run in her season opening 200s? Because that's what this was. How has she run historically in that event? And every year, going from college, 2019, up until now, for the most part, she runs slower than what we just saw in that semifinal. So, I mean, you can call it a blip on the radar. Like, yes, by this point in the season, she probably should be faster. I think that's safe to say. But for a season opening 200, which is still what it technically is, like you're shaking off the dust when it comes to that event, it wasn't a bad performance. It just wasn't. It was far from ideal, but it wasn't bad. Because the 200 isn't really her event anyway. It's the 100. That is where the conversation gets more interesting, because the world around her has been changing. Sha'Carri Richardson trains with Star Athletics. And when she first started there, Melissa Jefferson Wooden was not an athlete who trained with that group. But she is now. And whatever Dennis Mitchell has been doing in coaching has been working. It's been working for her. It's been working for Kayla White. Like, it is what it is. And now that both of them are going over to the Worlds, in the 100, they're going to be joining Sha'Carri. When it comes to the final, like, let us just assume that Sha'Carri Richardson is going to make the final. And when I say assume, let's clarify what that actually means. Because she almost didn't make the final of the 100 back in 2023. Like, she snuck through to the final. And then when she was there, she wins it from lane 9. That's why it was the first time anybody had ever done it from that lane. Because somebody with her talent is not supposed to be in lane 9. So Sha'Carri Richardson is, like her career up until now has been pretty interesting if you actually read it. Like, put everything on the board. Because her talent has been undeniable. Again, that's what it is. She walks off the track from college, collegiate record holder, goes 10-7 win legal, and more or less just kind of stays at the top. Like, her talent was kind of like shining through. Olympic trials 2021, shining through. And we know she didn't run at those games. 2022, 2023, like 2022 she didn't do well. Like, she didn't do well, but it wasn't like the world around her started going incredibly fast. But that was the beginning of the Melissa Jefferson Wooden situation. Emphasis on the beginning, because she was the American champion in the year where Sha'Carri didn't get it right. 2023, Sha'Carri comes back, and she reminds us that she's back. Then you get to 2024, where she makes it to the games, dominates the Olympic trials in the 100, almost made the team in the 200 and ran great rounds. And now we're at where we are, where 2025, like, the wheels have not hit the track all that well. Like, just being honest. Will she fix it by Worlds? That's a conversation for a lot of people to debate. But at the end of the day, the only person who can fix it is going to be her and her team. The injury has been a big deal because, although I didn't watch all of it, at least not yet, I did watch some of the, Workout Wednesday that Star Athletics put out under Flow Track. And when I watched some of this, I mean, it seemed pretty clear on the day that they were filming that Sha'Carri was not fully healthy. Again, just with my own eyes, it didn't look like that. I mean, she was practicing, she was doing down starts with the group, she was trying to work on things and analyze things, but it did not look like Sha'Carri Richardson was in her bag yet. Because in track and field, what makes Sha'Carri special is she does things other people can't do. She doesn't have to be the best starter. She never had to be the best starter, but she just had to be average when it came to the start. And then she had to do what she does. Right now, she's been getting back to being herself on the track. In 2024, she told us, I mean, it might have even been 2023. She said, I'm not back, I'm better. That better Sha'Carri Richardson went all the way to the world and got a medal. That was gold. It also got one in the 200. In 2025, the real question is, will Sha'Carri Richardson get back? And if she does, will she be better? Because, to be real, to win in 2025, in a world with Melissa Jefferson Wooden and Julian Alfred running like this, she's going to have to be better. She can't just come back anymore. She will have to be better if she wants anything close to the same results. And that's what we're going to have to wait and see, because September is coming a whole lot faster than anybody thought it would. In the sport of track and field, confidence is everything, because when you win, that is just the moment when everybody else finds out what you already knew to be true, that fast is a lifestyle. Get your Fast is a Lifestyle track and field gear at scarecruiting.com/shop, or use the link in the description below. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.